All right, everybody. Welcome back into another episode of the Mark Lesko Podcast. Joined by Jared Miller once again and the legend of the radio around here.
Oh, my
Jeff
God.
Brown.
Don't do that to me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff, you are a legend, Jeff. You've been on radio in this area a long time. As I was just saying, used to listen to you on 3WZ in the mornings.
And I was telling Mark this before we got started. That's the worst thing, is people coming up and saying, it's great for people to say, I listened to you on the radio, but then they say, I listened to you when I was a kid in the car with my parents. And you go, oh my God, am I old? I've been around here too long.
Yeah, well, that was when, I was, let me think, mid 2000s.
Wow.
And, I'm almost 33 now. Jeff, that
33, you're up, man. Oh my God.
I'll agree with you on that, even though it doesn't always feel like it. But yeah, Jeff, people around the area, early mornings, they're not always easy, but listening to guys like you on the radio station, you've been the morning of a lot of people. You've helped a lot of people get through their mornings.
Well, that's cool.
Doing what you do. You have a great voice, and you're a recognizable voice. So it's great. It's great to have you on here. It's hard to believe that I'm having you on here.
It's just so much fun. My full-time job is at Penn State, and that might be coming to an end. I'm looking at retirement there, but I think the paramedics are going to have to pull me out of the bus studio and put me on a gurney and take me away before I retire there.
Well, Jeff, when I was in school, I graduated in 2015. I did comm radio for a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Had a talk show there with Mike Wargon in the studio. And, that was before they did the renovations when Belisario came in. So that was when I was there, it was a great organization. It still is, Jeff. And you have a lot of alumni. Christopher Hess, I've had him on here. He did comm radio as well. Mm-hmm. And, thank you for having that, because
I'm sure
it's helped a lot of young broadcasters, a lot of young people with their careers. I mean, whether it be a podcast or working for a network, whatever it is.
Well, that's what it's supposed to do. When I started in 2001, I wanted it to be the same as the radio station I had in Slippery Rock when I was going there. And it was just a place for people to go and make mistakes and learn from there and just have a good time and then build some community and some family. And who knows, maybe end up with a career. And I went to school to be a kindergarten teacher. And it's a great gig. You get snacks, you get naps, you get all kinds of stuff. I thought this would be, like a wonderful career. And I got involved in radio and never looked back. So that's what I wanted to do for, other generations of students.
Yeah, Jeff, you came here from Pittsburgh originally, and you pulled into 3WZ. They had the name written with soap on the window.
You've been doing your research, yeah.
I
pulled in for that job interview into the parking lot, and I saw 3WZ written in soap on the window, and I said, "Oh hell no!" So I literally started my car back up without ever going in, and I took off down the Benner Pike to go home. I wasn't even going to go in for the interview, and I got to what was at the time Dunlap Ford. And I thought, I drove 2.5 hours. This is stupid to not at least go in and see what they had to say. So I turned back around and was late to get there. But I turned back around, and first thing they did was they showed me this picture of this building that was under construction. And they said, this is the building we're going to be in. And I said, oh, okay then.
So you stayed. That was a great decision.
I stayed. It was. I was supposed to be here 6 months. I was working in Pittsburgh, and a full-time job was opening in 6 months. And they said, find some place, to pay the bills. And then in 6 months, we'll come and get you. And I found 3WZ, And in 6 months, they called me and they said, here, we're ready for you. And I said, no, I've fallen in love with the place. And I've been here ever since.
And you stayed.
Yeah.
Jeff, this is my co-host, Brett. He just.
Hey, Brett.
Hey, how we doing?
Good morning. How are you?
Trying to wake up with some coffee. How are you?
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
It's game day finally, week 0. So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
But Jeff, you're on the bus now, 99.5.
Right.
How are you liking that? You've been there a long time too.
Oh, I love it. I got there in its second year of existence. So it's kind of been, I've had 2 babies in Center County. I got to 3WZ when it just started. And then I got to the bus when it just started. And it, like I said, I can't imagine working anywhere else. I'll probably work there until I'm done working. And I can't ask for more. The people at 7 Mountains Media are very, very good to me. They allow me to do what I want to do. And it's great. I have no complaints.
Jeff, you're a really busy guy. And we're going to get into the football season, get your thoughts on that and everything. Right. But you're a really busy guy. I mean, you're at the bus, you're with Penn State still. And I don't know how you have the time to do anything. I know you're constantly on the go. So now you do the PA for the basketball games,
right?
I always hear you there. Tyler Smith, right?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I do a show with him on here. So when I go to the Penn State games, it's always good to watch because Tyler is such a legend in the community as well, and
definitely
player for Penn State. So, and then do you still do the Spikes?
Ben is always happy. I don't think I've ever seen him unhappy.
No, you're right. He's always happy. Yeah. Do you still do the Spikes games, Jeff? Yeah.
No, I don't do the Spikes game. I haven't done those for a couple of years now. It was just time for me to, take care of that. It's a long season, man, and those games are long. Excuse me a second. Those games are really, really long, and so it just got to the point where I said, I can't do these. And then, dear God, they go to extra innings. It'd be a rain delay. No.
Yeah. Well,
gotta be better than the Pirates, though.
Oh well, yeah. Could be worse. I could be doing the Pirates.
True. Yeah.
Although, it just occurred to me they're playing the Rockies this weekend.
Yes.
They have won 17 more games than the Rockies. The Pirates suck, and the Rockies have lost 17 more than the Pirates have?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That puts something in perspective for me there.
It does.
Yeah.
Clint Hurdle, he's the manager there now, right?
He's the bench coach.
Yeah, bench coach for the Rockies,
yeah. But I just thought of that and thought, this has been such a horrible season, but they've still won 17 more than the Rockies. So could be worse. Could be a Rockies fan.
I don't really watch baseball, but I feel like the Pirates suck is a phrase that's been going on for a while. So I don't know when it's going to turn around. But
yeah.
Since about 2016.
You've actually been with 3WZ. I mean, it's been since the early 90s since the Pirates have had any kind of success.
We had those lovely 3 years, but that was it.
We did. They were kind of a fluke because what did they have? They had a bunch of misfits that everyone casted off, and they all worked in Pittsburgh. That was kind of the coincidence of it all. It was great to see it, but it wasn't sustainable. When you don't hand out multi-year deals, I'm just saying, when you don't hand out multi-year deals to your players, what else do you expect?
Yeah, but I was just talking to my son. Mm-hmm. I hate to do this because that's what the Pirates do. Yeah. But, you've got now Bubba Chandler made his debut last night.
That was great.
Yeah, so you got him. You've got Ashcraft look good. Yes. You've got Skeens. You've got Jared Jones. You've got all these. You've got 5 legitimately great young pitchers.
Yes.
If they could just find
if they could all hit, that would be great too.
Yeah, hitting the ball is like half of baseball, and they haven't figured that out yet.
When you're last in home runs, when you're last in runs, when you're last in RBIs, what that's what you're on. You're on an astronomically bad season. Like, they are the worst offense in baseball. No one is touching how bad they are being.
You know you're in trouble when the announcer, like last night, he did it again. He's been doing it all season.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to think who it was for the Pirates. Hit this ball. It's an out. The guy caught it at the wall. And he says, fans in 25 other stadiums, that would have been a home run. You know you're in trouble when they have to tell you that would have been a home run in other stadiums. Give me a break. It wasn't a home run, so shut up.
Who was the kid last night?
I'm being a grumpy old man this early in the morning.
Bud, we could go on a whole rant about it. You know it.
Yeah.
And Jeff, that's why Jared covers the Pirates and Steelers on here, because he's so passionate about it and he can talk about it, So and stay sane.
Oh, but dude, it's like trying to explain 2 + 2 = 4 in many different ways. That's what I'm saying. It's the same result every time. I am trying so hard to come up with a new storyline other than they suck. It's really hard.
But they do come up with creative ways to suck, and that's, I guess, the only thing.
That's true. That is very true.
Just when you think you've seen it all, whoop, here we go, something else.
Hopefully, you can talk about them beating the heck out of the Rockies after that game. So we'll see.
Yeah. Let's hope so. Although when they went up 9-0, I thought, well, they were 9-0 last week and lost. So that
yes. Oh my gosh, dude! If you don't know about that result, 17-16. That's got to be the worst thing I've seen in. God, I think I was a little guy the last time something historically bad happened like that. I mean,
well, that was the whole thing. Jim Rooker, when they went up on the Phillies, and Rooker said, "If they lose this game, I'll walk home." And they ended up walking home, or they ended up losing, and he had to walk from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh. It was reminiscent of that.
Oh.
Jeff, you were in Pittsburgh before, so, and you did. I know you were in the Steelers locker room at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So you're definitely a Pittsburgh fan, which is great. Have you done extensive work with either Pittsburgh team?
No, not really extensive work at all. You've been a lifelong fan, but I haven't done lifelong stuff. So it's just been from kind of the outside looking in as to what's going on. I don't know why my phone is beeping, but that's okay. Sorry about that. That's truly professional. But yeah, I'm just
clock guy down here. Just a heads up.
Okay, all right, yeah. Just don't get Edward R. Murrow in with me. But anyway, the answer to your question, no, it's I haven't done any extensive work with them, but yeah, lifelong fan and just observed the good times and the bad times. Thank God I was alive in the 70s for both the Pirates and the Steelers. I don't know that I would be a Pirates and Steelers fan. Well, I'm not a Pirates fan. I'd be a Steelers fan. But I don't know that I'd be a Pirates fan if I didn't experience the 70s with them.
Well, you've seen Penn State win a natty too, so that's nice.
Well, that's true.
You've seen two. Yes, you have.
2 of them. Yep.
Well,
yeah, I was born at the right time.
The last time the Pirates were, in serious postseason, I was a month old. So that's how long it's been, Belinda from State College guy threw that pitch, and that was the winning run. And, that was a good Pirates team.
Yeah.
Yep. It was a good Pirates team. It was a good Braves team as well. That's when Dion was going back and forth between football and baseball. So that was
a great series to watch, except at the end. But it was a great series to watch. The Pirates had a great team. The Braves were on the cusp of there really becoming a dominant team. So it was fun, and they were just that close. But you know what? Everybody forgets Jose Lind missing that ball earlier in the inning. Jose Lind fields that ball. The ground ball to Jose Lind goes through his legs. If he fields that ball cleanly, Sid Bream doesn't score. And nobody ever talks about that. They always talk about Bream, and they talk about Bonds and the lousy throw and all that stuff. But Jose Lind does his job earlier in the inning. We're not talking about it.
Well, a good example of that is the Penn State Notre Dame game, right?
Oh, yeah.
If Drew and Nick connect on that easy pass in the flat for a touchdown, game's over.
Exactly. It's all over, and who knows what happens from there. So, but that's the fun thing about sports is you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to turn out. Like the Steelers this year, they could be good. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl, but they could be really good. They could be a fun team this year. Yeah. But get them an injury or two, and they could be lousy. And that's the fun thing about sports is you never know what's happening.
Yep. Jeff, I'll never forget July 12th, 2015. That was a Sunday. Mm-hmm. It was the ESPN game against the Cardinals. I had the day off. I decided that I was going to drive to Pittsburgh, and I got my ticket, and I went into that game. And where I sat in the crowd, I was stationed between this guy beside me and the guy behind me. Guy Bob beside me and the guy Bill behind me. Bill and Bob right beside me, these two guys. They were about probably your age. They just told me the entire history of the Pittsburgh Pirates. They told me everything. They told me that they grew up with Roberto Clemente. They told me they grew up with Willie Stargell and the Dave Parker era, all of that just remarkable 60s and 70s. They just gave me the entire history of that entire franchise. And it was just glorious to see them in their heyday. And I remember that was a game. It was the 2015 series, so it was the last time that the Pirates were a playoff team, and that was one of the greatest teams I can probably say from like roster, play, pitching, everything was fantastic from them. And that game was really tough. I cannot remember for the life of me who pitched for Cardinals, but it was Francisco Liriano pitched for the Pirates, and they went into a 3-3 overtime extra innings game, and it was the 10th inning. Cardinals came alive, and they got 2 runs scored. And it was 5-3 going into the bottom. And we watched, us guys watched about 10,000 people leave that park. And Bill whispered to my ear. He just leaned in front of me and said, I really hate it when people leave the game because you just never know what's going to happen. And I'm like, well, this is a guy who has seen so many come from behind or great moments between Three River Stadium and, PNC and stuff So, and then surely enough, Starling Marte was on second because he scored Mercer. So it was 5-4. And then Young Ho Gong hits a single, runners at the corners, and Francisco Cervelli goes into this epic battle with Trevor Rosenthal. At the time, Rosenthal had that ERA of like 0.92, like one of the best ERAs of the closer era. He was like Mariano Rivera level, and he gets into this battle. I think it was 10 pitches he finally threw this ball, and Cervelli is a righty, and he hit it beautifully down the first base line, like straight down the line, right after the first baseman, scores Marte, so it's 5-5. Gong and Cervelli, I think he actually second and third, and then they intentionally walked McCutchen to load the bases, and I'm like, this is against Trevor Rosenthal. This dude could be in the World Series pitching, and Polanco, of all guys, got the bases loaded. First pitch, right over the second baseman's head. Scores Gong, place goes completely berserk. The first thing I did as a fan when that happened, I turned around to Bill to see what his reaction was. He looks like this. And I'm just like, that is incredible. Where you are watching something in person and you watched a guy who has seen it all, has seen great things from all of those years. And he had that look on his face like a kid that just saw the greatest thing he ever saw in his life. We're high-fiving. We're going up and down the aisles. And it was the greatest celebration I was ever a part of. So you're absolutely right, my friend. Anything is possible when sports are happening.
I had a similar thing happen to me, only it was spring training, like 1980, something like that. I'd gone to Florida with 4 girls. It's a long story, but it was it wasn't a good story, but it was a long story.
Oh, okay.
So they all wanted to go to the beach. I went to the baseball games because they were just being difficult. But anyway, so I'm standing in line waiting for my ticket, and this old guy comes up to me and says, "Do you need a ticket?" And I said, "Yeah, where's it at?" And he just gave me this nasty look, and he said, "You don't ask somebody that. You just take the ticket if they offer you a ticket." I said, "Okay, fine." So I take the ticket. I'm 3 rows behind home plate, sitting with 4 old guys. And I'm talking, they're probably 60s and 70s. They bought me beers the whole game, and they told me story after story after story. It was so much fun. So toward the end of the game, Pirates are playing the Royals. And they said, so what do you think the Royals are going to be like this year? Well, smart ass 20-year-old. And I'm going, whoa, I think, and I'm going through the whole thing. And they tapped the old man sitting in front of me and said, what do you think about that? And the guy turned around, and it was Ewing Kaufman, who was the owner of the Royals.
Oh, my goodness.
It was so, and they're laughing because they knew the whole time who he was.
They set you up,
yeah. About the Royals. Oh, yeah, but that was the most fun I've ever had at a ball game because those guys talked nonstop. 50s, 60s, 70s Pirates. They'd been to all the games, all the spring training games. It was great.
Oh.
Yeah, Jeff, that's the Pirates fan base is the best. I mean,
well, they have a fan base, so they would have a team. That place would fill up every single night.
Exactly. Yeah. And both of your stories, people that you sat by at games, yeah, they have such a loyal fan base. I mean, Pittsburgh fans are loyal to the Steelers, the Pens. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Jared has spoken about the fact, and I really hope this doesn't happen, but what are your thoughts on them, maybe the Pirates moving to a different city? I mean, you think it's possible?
I don't think so. I would hope not. I think there are way too many people who would buy the team and keep it. I mean, Mark Cuban would kill for the team. And he could certainly do it, and he would certainly spend tons of money populating the roster. But no, I don't think they'll ever leave Pittsburgh because of the stadium, because of the tradition, because of everything. It would have to get really, really bad to do that. But never say never, especially in these crazy times. Never say never. So,
Well, Paul Skeens, or what's his name, the pitcher that's newer, he's been doing really well, right?
Yeah, and I am one of the guys. I'm one of the guys that says trade him. And everyone goes, "What?"
I agree, Jeff.
I said, trade him. Now, I don't want Ben Cherington anywhere near him. Get a new good general manager. No. Okay, so that's my stipulation there. But if you could get 4 quality position players for Paul Skeens right now, get them. I'd much rather see a winning playoff caliber team than to see a losing team that has Paul Skeens every 5 days.
Yeah, he's a dynasty pitcher.
Let me ask you this question, Jeff. If you get these guys, you say to guys who are ready to play and have no issue whatsoever,
right?
Like, would that be the difference in the sense, like, I don't know, because the developmental coaching part of all of the Pirates is like minor league system. That's what bothers me the most. Like, it's not the fact that they're a badly run organization. It's the fact that when these players get here, their coaching staffs from AAA all the way down, it just seems like they never develop players correctly. So I get what you're saying. You want these players to come, but that's the other part of it where it's like, yeah, they're going to get here. Who knows how bad they could screw these guys up too, where it's like, I totally get what you're saying, but we're talking about an organization that has basically the intelligence of Tweedledee and Tweedledum of trying to get something started. So I understand that, but as long as Paul Skeens has a Pirate jersey, I'm going to see him. Like, that's my call to go see a Pirate game right now.
Clean house on Grant Street. I mean, just take everybody out and get good baseball players or good baseball people in there. And if you do that, and you can swing a trade for 4 or 5 starting position players for Paul Skeens, you're never going to get a bigger haul than you're going to get right now for him under the contract.
You're not wrong.
You'll never get a bigger haul. Why not? Because, like I said, I'd rather see them win every day than win every 5 days.
Right. Jeff, they have Jones, and they also – who was the kid last night that threw 100-plus?
Ashcraft did, and then Bubba Chandler did.
Exactly. So to me, it's almost like fairly recently, TJ Watt. He's not necessarily in his prime. He's still very good, but I said, trade TJ Watt and get some draft picks or something because we need a quarterback.
Right.
I mean, if Aaron Rodgers goes down, Mason Rudolph could be our starter. And, oh, man, that would be –
Skyler, baby. Skyler.
Yeah, Skyler, please. Yeah, he's doing great.
He looks better.
I'm a Skyler guy.
Yeah, he's got a great arm.
I agree with you, Mark. As much as I would hate to see TJ Watt go, you've got YA. I like him. I would rather have him.
YA.
YA looks like he's going to be fun. They've got those two young kids, and so that'll replace Cam when he retires.
Yeah.
So they look like they had a really good draft, and they're really kind of set on the defensive line. If you could get a really nice haul, and I trust Omar Khan to do it,
yes,
a really nice haul for TJ Watt, I would hate to see it, but yeah.
Talk about a tale of two GMs. Omar Khan versus Ben Sherrington. Oh, my goodness gracious. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Pee Wee Herman. Like, it's absolutely on point with that. I love Omar Khan as a GM. He has not done anything wrong. He really has not. Even if it doesn't look like it had played out right throughout the season, every person he has brought in, every Steeler fan has been like they praise you for what you do because it gives them the best chance to win at that time.
And Pittsburgh was lucky because they had Craig Patrick there for a while for the Penguins. And it seemed like every time we turned around, the Penguins are getting somebody they had no business getting. Right. And I don't know how he did it.
Yeah.
And Fred Sherrow, I'll give Sherrow credit as well. They just, they had a need and they went out and got it. It was just an amazing run. Now the Penguins have not had that for a few years now, but back then it was just, oh my God, you got so-and-so coming up. All of a sudden they've got him, you need this. Oh, they went out and got him. It was so much fun being a Pens fan.
It was.
Well, when they go and get Gavin McKenna next year, then that'll be one of the best stories in PA history. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
When here, look at this history though.
I love it.
They needed somebody, and all of a sudden, boop, first pick Mario Lemieux.
Yep.
And then they're having bad times again. Boop, they get the first pick, and who's there? Sidney Crosby. And Jaromir Jagr. And anytime that there was a really outstanding guy in the draft, somehow the Pens ended up drafting them. So I'm not going to put it past them.
Yeah, well, Jeff, we're kind of bouncing around on Pittsburgh, and that's great because we're all diehard fans. And I don't mean
Brett, are you Brett?
Brett's a Raiders fan, and hey, it's.
I'm sorry.
It's a tough life, but hey, the Eagles are my second team, so
I'm
doing
sorry.
okay.
Jeff, the 70 Steelers put plenty of Raiders guys on stretchers during games, so
Hey, there were equally good games for the Raiders and back.
The Raiders put plenty of Steelers on stretchers as well. Those were games.
Those were great.
But I'll just say, the pain that Jared feels for the Pirates, I feel for the Raiders. We haven't been good since we had Rich Gannon, Tim Brown, Jerry Rice, and the squad with Charles Woodson. So I'm just going to say this real quick. In 2001, we got screwed. We got screwed against the Patriots, and you guys know.
Yeah. I will give you that one.
Jesse James fumble. That's
that was a catch.
Fumble against the Patriots.
But the Raiders Steelers in the 70s.
Please go ahead.
Yeah.
That was pain. That was just so much fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jeff, with TJ Watt, another thing is since he's been drafted, they have not won a playoff game.
No.
And that's crazy because he was drafted a while ago, and they've averaged 15 points in the postseason since he was drafted. So that was like another thought of mine. It's like clearly his production, as great as he is, does not lead to playoff wins.
No.
But a solid young, like a Trevor Lawrence or a CJ Stroud, who I wanted both of them, would lead to probably playoff points and wins. So that was another reason why it's like trade the kid, trade him somewhere where he can win a ring, because I want TJ Watt to win a ring. But yeah.
But the problem with the Steelers, dude, and this is the truth, like the last 5-7 years, what the problem with the Steelers is their defensive side has always been legit. They have always focused primarily on the defensive side. Nothing ever went wrong with the defense. On the offense, Bud, you might as well try to put paper in front of those guys to like stop them from their lines. And these last 5 to 7 years have been atrocious. They have absolutely no throw. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, the whole Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett carousel that we've had of like quarterbacks since Ben has retired, it's been probably some of the most challenging things I've seen Mike Tomlin go through, or a coach in general, but it's Mike Tomlin who's our head coach, where he just let Ben be Ben. And he was like, I don't have to worry about anything. When Ben's my quarterback, I don't have to worry about it. It's a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. How can I go wrong? And as soon as he left, you then had to see what a coach had to go through to try to find another quarterback. And we thought we had one last year with Fields. We thought we had one with Fields, but Tomlin, being Tomlin, made it abundantly clear that when Russell came back and he was healthy, he was going to be inserted. And he was fine, but when it came time to be something bigger than the Eagles or the Chiefs or the Ravens, we got exposed something awful. Our defensive line just got completely destroyed because they were so tired of having to carry the entire team, because offensively they couldn't do anything. Because Russell is that short. Like, that's the problem. When you have a quarterback who cannot see over the middle of the field, you cannot do something big. So, therefore, we've had to endure so many issues with the offense. And, gosh, I hope that the Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett years are behind us, because I never want to go through those types of games again where you only got 10, 12 points an entire season practically. It needs to be better. So,
have you guys seen the rant that Mike Greenberg had on this week? About the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers? Look it up on YouTube. I don't remember all the stats that he gave, but I'm not a Mike Tomlin fan. Mike Tomlin drives me crazy. I would love to see them.
None of us are. None of us. Thank you. Yes. Please go.
Until I saw this thing with Mike Greenberg. Do you know the coaching combination with the second most wins in recent history in the NFL behind Belichick and Brady? Tomlin and Roethlisberger. They're number 2, and Tomlin has a 65% win rate in I think like the last 10 years or something like that. And another one they had was in games where there's only one turnover. Tomlin is 17-2. Now, name the quarterback who has the least amount of turnovers in the last 10 years. Aaron Rodgers. So all of a sudden, I was really kind of on the fence this year about that team until I saw that. And I really encourage you to look up the video, because there's some other stats that are great and really surprising. But I just thought, son of a gun. Oh, and he brought up too, Brett Favre. Went to the Jets. They had a lousy year. He was left for dead. He goes to the Vikings the next year. They're in the NFC Championship game.
Yep.
And he ended the rant with saying, why can't history repeat itself? Is there any reason why history can't repeat itself? I don't know, but it did give me something to think about.
Hey, I'm a total believer in Aaron Rodgers. I'm excited for him. I have so much respect for him as a player. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. So I'm being optimistic about it. I think, Jared, obviously you have your concerns, but I'm really optimistic about it.
The only problem I had with Aaron Rodgers was he was such a diva. Like, that was the real problem. He showed how much of a personality he had with the Packers. And then when the Jets went wrong, he showed it again, where it's like, here it's like, listen, I do believe it is all about who you want to be around. That changes your whole persona. And Mike Tomlin and him are basically like this. Like they you found the next bromance, I think, in the NFL. So it's completely understandable that now Rodgers is buttoned up. He has not shown any of that side of himself. And now that it's like we're worried and focused about trying to make this team actually a playoff winning team. That's the real thing about this. We have always been a regular season winning team, but we can't win a playoff game. And Rodgers probably has been chopping at the bit more than anybody probably in the NFL to win another playoff game. And it just might be with the Steelers.
Well, that's the thing. Oh, I was just going to say he's a diva because he's never had the whole package. He deserves the whole package. I'm a big AR. I call him AR-12. Big Aaron Rodgers fan. So
Jeff, you're a diehard Steelers fan. You know, when he comes to the Steelers, I think he's not talking. Look at Antonio Brown when he left. I mean, it was a totally different person. You know, so
they Rodgers' first year with the Jets was a waste, obviously, because of the injury. But last year, look at his stats. His stats are really pretty good.
Right. Yeah.
He was just with a lousy team and a lousy situation.
Really?
Now, can he be a jerk? Absolutely. And if you watch Hard Knocks, I mean, he was a complete jerk. But from everything I've read and everything I've seen this year, he's bouncing around. He's joking with people. He's going on all his teammates' podcasts. He could not be a better teammate. And with the Jets, he kind of refused to mentor the other quarterbacks. But with the Steelers, he's talking to the guys. He took Will Howard under his wing. He took Roman Wilson, and he's insisting that Roman Wilson be the best receiver he can be. He's being a great mentor here, and he wasn't that with the Jets. So I want to see what happens. I'm kind of excited about it.
You know, with Mike Tomlin, who he's at the very least, he's a molder of men. He's a great players coach. He's like Franklin. He's a players coach.
Right.
You had Mike Tomlin, then you had Russell Wilson, a veteran. You had a veteran coach, a veteran quarterback with a Super Bowl ring, and then you had a young Justin Fields. And I thought, wow, we have our future now.
Right.
And then they took Justin Fields out, who I thought they should have left in, like Jared said, because they were 4-1 or something at the time.
Yeah, I still want to know what happened to that.
I don't know, but now, and I'm happy with what they have now. But my goodness, they should have. I don't know. I don't know what they're. That's the thing about Mike Tomlin. It's like, what are you doing? I don't know what's.
Yeah, that I don't understand at all. Other than he plays favorites. I mean, he really does. And he and Russ were very tight. And they brought Russell Wilson in because he was going to be the starter. And I think he promised him that, so he was going to make him the starter, despite what Justin Fields did. That's the only thing I can understand. I can figure out. But I thought, man, now you got your young quarterback. You got him for virtually nothing. This is great. And to let him go the way he did, I don't know. But I like Will Howard. I think Will Howard's going to surprise people.
Oh, yeah.
Who are they going to cut? Who are they got? Because they have Skylar Thompson, Will Howard, Mason, and Aaron.
I really think they're going to swing a trade, I think, for Skylar Thompson, because there've got to be NFL teams out there saying, as good as he played in the preseason, we need a backup. I think he's not a starter, but, man, we need a quality backup.
Yeah.
In fact, if you want to get kind of a hot take, I wouldn't really mind Mason Rudolph hitting the bricks in favor of Skylar Thompson.
Me neither. I don't want him.
I wouldn't mind that. But
I don't.
I might feel really differently mid-season when Aaron Rodgers goes down and he throws 3 interceptions. But I wish I had Mason back.
Jeff, we'll dive into the Penn State side of things, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
I plan on having you on here many more times if you would love to, if you would like to. But
absolutely, yeah.
Jeff, you came here in 1988.
Mm-hmm.
So, you've seen. Were you a Penn State fan? Were you a Penn State fan your whole life?
No, I hate to say it. I was a Pitt fan.
All right. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Growing up, I was a Pitt fan, but and when I got here, it was funny because I'll tell you a quick story. You go to Penn State, you see all the tailgates, and all the elaborate tailgates and everything else. I went to Slippery Rock, and we remember after going to a Penn State tailgate, going back to Slippery Rock with my wife for a football game at homecoming, and there was a pickup truck with the tailgate down and a hibachi on the back of the tailgate. That was the tailgate at Slippery.
Wow.
I said, "Oh my, I'm in a different situation here."
Keep it away from the gas tank.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's the this is the best tailgating atmosphere in the country.
Definitely. Why go to the game? Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
This cracks me up. You know the big controversy now? Have you guys heard it? The people are afraid to sit in the new seats.
Yeah.
Have you heard that? Pat Kraft had to make a statement saying that they're safe. Now, how friggin' stupid do you have to be to think that a major university staring down hundreds of millions of dollars of litigation if those things would crumble and saying, oh, no, they're perfectly safe. Of course they're perfectly safe, for God's sakes. They wouldn't allow you on them if they weren't.
Well, Jeff, it's Penn State. It's Beaver Stadium. Obviously, they're going to have I was saying this the other day. They're going to have the best construction workers in the world there.
Exactly. They're not going to take that chance.
Yeah, they are the best.
Yeah. They posted a video of players going up on the stands. Like, these are great. This is the best view in the stadium. They posted a video.
I'll take their seats. They can buy them, and if they're too afraid to sit in them, give them to me. I'll sit in them.
That's probably the best view too.
I'll throw myself on a grenade. Yeah.
I was going to say, take all our captains, put them there for 3 hours, and be like, "Hey, if we're willing to risk our captain sitting here, then you guys are fine." So
it's just ridiculous. Yeah, we're going to do shoddy workmanship and shoddy materials and let you guys sue us for hundreds of millions of dollars when they collapse. Jeez, Louise.
How long is it going to take?
They look phenomenal for temporary bleachers. I mean, they look great.
I think they look great.
They look great. There's nothing wrong with them.
And the final product will be phenomenal too.
Yes.
When is that? How long will it take? I don't know.
2027 is
2027. It'll all be done.
Completed.
Yeah.
We'll have more updates after 2026 too. There'll be more upgrades. I mean, they're changing a lot of the inside, the structure of the whole stadium. So there's a lot.
I didn't realize they moved everything, the press box, everything. They moved to the other side, and they're going to keep it. I knew they'd move it over there while it was under construction, but they're going to stay there. So
I guess they're going to have a press box on both sides.
But like Steve Jones, all those guys are going to be on the other side of the field permanently.
Well, Steve, you know Steve well, right?
Oh my goodness, we worked together for 10 years.
Fantastic guy, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, good guy. We have a lot of stories.
Oh, absolutely, Jeff. Yeah, your time at, like I mentioned, your time at 3WZ, that was a great show for everyone to listen to.
I'll tell you a quick Steve Jones story. We were doing what are they called? The preliminary elections in the spring. Okay. And Steve and I are covering it. So we're in the newsroom and there's a little TV. And I think it was a hockey game, NHL game, an NBA game, and a baseball preseason game on different channels. And we're waiting for the results to come in. So Steve just starts doing the play-by-play of this baseball game. So I grabbed the remote control and I switched it to the hockey game. And he immediately jumps into the play-by-play of the hockey. And then I switch it again. He immediately goes NBA. So then I started going through and I'm randomly going back and forth and no set pattern, no nothing. He never missed a play, never missed a player.
Wow.
In all three of those games, I deliberately was going back and forth and trying to confuse him. Never missed a call. It was unreal.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He's one of a kind. He's got a memory on him that is second to none.
That's a superpower. Yeah.
I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. He can tell you what color shirt the guy had in W2 in a 1976 game. It's unreal.
Yeah. Well, when did Jack Ham join him? I don't.
I'm terrible with years. I'm not sure.
I'm trying to think of what year he joined. But yeah, he's been doing it for a while too. I mean, they're a great combo. But Jeff, we had the Joe Paterno years. That was a very long time. My freshman year is when all that stuff happened and he was let go. And then we went into the Bill O'Brien era, and now we're in the Franklin era. You've been watching Penn State football a long time. What do you think of the Franklin era as a whole right now?
Oh, boy. It's hard to judge the Franklin era without talking about college football in general. I don't like the direction college football in general has gone. Yeah. It's too corporate. It's too slick. It's too everything. And of course, I'm not criticizing Penn State because they've got to go along with the times in order to be successful. But I really do kind of miss the good old days. When the stadium was smaller and the tickets were cheaper and we were rooting for the team and the players were playing for the glory and not for the NIL, stuff like that. But James Franklin, let's give it to him. He has built a powerhouse, which is good and bad because he's got a great schedule this year. A very favorable schedule. He's got a great team. I heard somebody, and I don't know that I believe this or not, but I heard one of the national guys say they could have as many as 8 first-round picks between the starting 22. I think that's a little high. But so he's got this great team, great schedule, great setup. But with that comes a hell of a lot of pressure. If he thought he was under pressure before, holy mackerel. If they lay an egg this year, I don't even want to hear what's going to happen with the Penn State faithful.
We may have him up in those seats.
That's true. They may make him stay there through the winter. But I think, he's put together, we're bringing Knowles in and Kotelnicki. I think he has put together a package that should win the national championship this year.
If he doesn't win the national championship this year, I think people are going to start showing up at his house.
It's not going to be. I mean, people have been jerks for the last 2 or 3 years now, and they weren't expected to win anything. Just think about this year; they're expected to win, and they come up with 2 or 3 losses. Oh man, it's going to be ugly. I hope it doesn't happen.
Well, Jeff, I started this podcast in 2021, and even then 2021 I thought, let's make the playoff, we can do it. 22, same thing. 23, 24, and last year they were top 4, so it finally happened at the end of the year. But and it's just been so agonizing every single year, losing a game that like 2019, for example, lose to Minnesota, and I think it was Michigan State too. If you win one of those games, you're in the playoff.
Yeah.
And it's just been, we've all aged probably 5 years at least over these past few seasons. Like last year again, Ohio State at home. I mean, wow, not a single offensive touchdown.
No.
So.
And 2 years ago, it was 2 or 3 years ago when they were up and they lost in the fourth quarter to Ohio State. That one was I vividly remember sitting in the stands. It was the last Penn State game I've ever been to live. Sitting in the stands and looking around and just seeing people's faces. I've never seen the look on people's faces and that many looks on people's faces that I did that game. They were devastated.
Oh yeah.
It looked for sure like they were going to beat the Buckeyes, and it didn't happen, and they were just crushed. That was just a backbreaking game.
Penn State fans, our hearts have been through a lot. So
yeah. They've been through a lot, but you know what? Penn State fan, any fan really, they win the national championship game this year. All is forgiven. Franklin's
It is.
God.
Yeah. Winning cures everything.
Nobody's going to remember anything except where you were when Penn State won the national championship.
Well,
it's just
Jeff,
the way people are.
Yeah, and if you think about it, after the sanctions that Penn State had, and having transitioning into O'Brien 2 years, and then to another guy, we three head coaches. My class had 3 different coaches, and before that, it was just one. Mm-hmm. So if he were to win a national title, Franklin, after everything that Penn State has been through, and as good of a resume as he has, I mean, he goes down in history at Penn State for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you somebody else who should though, Bill O'Brien.
Yes. Exactly.
I don't think Bill O'Brien gets anywhere near the credit that he deserves for holding that program together. I'm blanking on the guy's name who was the interim president at the time. But I can't think. He worked for the College of Com, and I can't think. No, it wasn't Barron. Anyway, he's the one who made the decision, at the time of the sanctions, to avoid them getting, losing, being suspended for years and years and years. And I think between him and O'Brien, they saved Penn State football because, as well as I do with State College, if we had lost football for 2 or 3 years, this town would be history.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think he knew that. So, God, I wish I could remember his name. But anyway,
Erickson, Jeff.
Erickson, yes.
Rodney Erickson.
Okay.
Rodney Erickson. I really do think if Rodney looked at this and said, I'm going to take a lot of grief over this, but I'm saving the town. And I think he really did save the town, because if we had done the SMU thing, it would have been over.
Yep.
And Bill O'Brien came in and held everything together. Of course, the players, played a big part in that too. But I don't think Bill gets nearly the credit that he deserves.
No.
I was still angry when Bill O'Brien said, "I'm not leaving," and then left right afterwards. So we were all mad about that. So I'm never leaving. Boom. 2 minutes.
I didn't say he was perfect. I just said he was under.
Now, the video that the players made, who was the leader of that? I'm terrible with names for the defense. The one guy, they had this big promotional video that they were going to come together, galvanize like the whole. I can't remember the player's name. Who was the one who led that video? Do you guys, Mark, do you remember?
Yeah, Michael Motti and Zordich.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember just watching between knowing that Bill O'Brien was coming and seeing that video. I have never thought that people were going to be able to bring themselves together like they did. And it was just like everything about that was perfectly handled. Like, you watch how everything started and everything just started to diminish a little bit here and there. And all of a sudden, just everyone put the brakes on it all. And when you watch that video and you watch how Bill O'Brien conducted himself, it was just one of the greatest things. I will never forget one Beaver Stadium. My only Beaver Stadium game I've ever been to was 2012. I want to say it was late October, early November. We took on Northwestern, and Pat Fitzgerald and all them were on the other side, and they were up, I think, 2 touchdowns. Like, they were beating us at home.
You talking about 2010?
No, 2012. I remember specifically the year was 2012. And I remember, was it? It wasn't, who was the quarterback at the time? It would have been 2012. Red hair, walk on. The guy was, Matt McGloin. Yes, I remember when McGloin had the ball and he had to run it in himself. And I remember there was a player that got hurt or something, and Bill O'Brien just charged the field. Like, he was basically in the middle of the field running at the refs, just getting in their face. And I've never seen the crowd just get so hyped just from that moment. But when you watch how Bill O'Brien handled himself as a coach and how he got like into a moment, it was awesome. Like, that dude had some of the best personality I have ever seen for a head coach. So I've seen firsthand what Bill O'Brien was all about. And yeah, if we could have that kind of coach in every sport of everything, like that would be awesome. Like he really had a lot of great contributions and attributes as a coach. He was great.
That Zordich and Motti moment to me might have been one of the last times, if not the last time, that I saw old school college football. It was, we're going to get together. We don't care what happened. We're going to pull together for our teammates. We're going to pull together for our school. We're going to go out there and play. You know, there wasn't any NIL money or leaving early for the draft or for anything else. We're going to play for Penn State. We're going to do it for Penn State. That was a very cool part of a very bad situation.
Yeah, it was really tough. I mean, maybe call it night. You know, maybe I was naive, but I was never worried about going like 0-12.
No,
I was worried about the death penalty, but I was never worried about losing seriously. I mean, they didn't have a losing season, and even in the first game against Ohio, in the student section, I was in the student section, and Ohio ended up winning. And I remember that one touchdown that the quarterback had. He ran it in, he threw his hand up. All the Ohio fans, there was like 20 of them up there going crazy. And I'm like, man, this is so weird losing to Ohio. And man, they really turned it around. Yeah. He was a great coach, Bella Brown.
Yeah. But, you know, give James all the credit in the world because, again, you know, they could have stayed basically static, but James has improved them. And James is bringing in the players, and he's got players who not only want to play him on the field, but he's got high school players who want to come to Penn State other than going to Alabama or going to Ohio State who want to come to play for James Franklin. So he gets all the credit in the world for that too.
Yeah. So, Jeff, you think, because I think this is the best team we've had ever at Penn State. You know, maybe that's a hot take, but the most talented team. You think they can win a national title this year?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I'll be very surprised if they don't. Let's put it that way. Because, again, you know, the schedule's perfect. You know, unless you're a fan, you don't want to see those first 4 games. They're not very good. But, you know, it all fell into place. They don't have Michigan this year to deal with. I think the big game for them, the big trip game, is going to be Iowa. I'm really concerned. I'm concerned about the Iowa game. But I think they can blow through the schedule, and I think they can blow through. Clemson scares me. I think that will be their only really big competition this year. But Big Ten is down. Ohio State and a few other players starting, or 2 other teams starting freshman and quarterback. It's the perfect storm for Penn State. So I think if they're going to win a national championship, this is the year to bet on it.
Hopefully Iowa's defense is better than it was last year, because it wasn't very good last year.
No.
Like for an Iowa defense, Troy put up 20-some points on them, and mainly because of Devontae Ross, the receiver we took from Troy. So, I mean, we'll see. I think it's hard to play in that stadium, but I think we should be able to handle them, right? Like let's just go out there.
I'm hoping. I just think if they're gonna trip up, that's the game that trips them.
Yeah.
Well, you never know with Nebraska and Indiana too. I mean, they're good teams, so we'll see.
Yeah. And I'm going to be rooting for Ohio State next weekend. You know, I don't normally do that. All my friends say, "Oh, you've got to cheer for the Big Ten. It's the Big Ten. It's our conference." Hell no! I want every single Big Ten team to lose every single game except Penn State.
Let's go Texas.
I don't understand that theory at all. You got to cheer for Big Ten teams to win. No,
maybe in bowl season, but not the regular season.
Maybe
bowl season.
Okay, I'll give you bowl season, but not when it really, really counts. But on this one, I'm pulling for Ohio State to knock Texas off early. I think Texas is overrated.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I mean, Arch is unproven. I mean,
right.
I think he'll be very good.
Like he's Tom Brady reincarnated, and he hasn't. He's barely taken the field.
He beat up UML Monroe, some team that nobody's ever heard of. That's the only team he's really beat up. So I mean,
yeah, he may be. I mean, God knows he's got the genes for it, but who knows? I want to see him play, and I want to see him play a whole season, and then I'll know him king, but not before then.
Well, one thing that I think everyone is, as a fan base, is kind of forgetting is the Jim Knowles hire. Yeah. That might be the best hire Franklin's ever had.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, that's one of the best hires in the history of our program, I think. Yeah. I mean, look at what he did last year. And he's with us now? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think he's the difference maker. I really, really do. I mean, they've got a great defense. Great players. Tonight, Dennis Sutton, I think, is going to be just a monster this year. Yeah. But Knowles is the difference maker.
Xander, not to brag about something, but when it was 2021 or 2022, when Nick Singleton and Katron Allen were coming on, everyone was talking about whose side are you on? Are you on Katron? Or are you on Singleton's side? And I'm sitting over here going, play them both. What is wrong with that? And people are like, you can't do that. You got to be committed to one. And I'm like, I don't think you do, because I really do like what both of them bring individually. And Singleton is fast and huge, where Keytron is zippy and he can go around anybody. Like, the tangible about that is like the coolest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, play both. And people are like, there's no way that's going to happen. So I'm just saying, 3 years later, these dudes are breaking records, and they're the greatest running back duo in the history of the game, practically. So I'm just throwing that
credit those guys, because this day and age, one of them could have jumped in the portal so that each of them could be the guy in their program, and neither one of them did. They stuck together. That to me is a huge credit to them.
Well, that's the thing. Penn State gets loyal guys. They get Penn State guys that stick it out, and they want to play for Penn State. And they might a little bit of money. That's fine, but they're not going to turn their head. They're staying Penn State. Yep.
That's just how special the school is. Like, that's just what they preach all the time. We have constantly brought guys in with that notion that Penn State is the most important school, the most important program. The history is there. They talk about it all the time. The blue and white, the whiteout, everybody, like, what atmosphere do you want to be a part of? Everyone says. I watched this video the other day where all the Big Ten coaches were asked, what is the greatest college atmosphere? And every one of them said the whiteout. It wasn't even like it was close. That's the thing. The second best thing, name it. And I'll tell you, that's probably like 20, 30% down from where the whiteout is, because everyone wants to be a part of it. It's the greatest stage that's ever been created, and we all know that we enjoy the heck out of it. It's awesome.
But they're great kids. Like, in teaching at Penn State, I've had a lot of Penn State football players in my class, and I have never had trouble with any of them. I mean, they are all just quality guys. I had denied Dennis Sutton last fall. Great kid, very talented. The one thing was Daryl Clark. I had him in my class many years ago.
Love him.
And he is Dion, his wide receiver. I can't remember.
Butler.
Butler.
Deion Butler was in the class next door. And so Deion came over to talk to Daryl while I'm getting ready for class. And all of a sudden, I got my back to the students, and I hear Daryl say, "What time is it?" And so they told him, and he goes, "Man, class started. Get out of here." And Deion said, "Oh, man, you're not even starting yet, doing it." And Daryl got up and said, "Get out now. Class has started." And he kicked Deion out of my class. The class could start.
Oh,
I mean, and like I said, I've probably had 20 Penn State players over the years, and they have all been, with the exception of a couple, they've all been really high quality individuals, not just great football players, but just high quality people.
Yeah.
There was a player, a defensive player, he was early 2010s. I can't remember specifically what years, but he was like a Rhodes Scholar. Like, he was a really smart dude. I think he
went. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I will never forget. I was at Champs Sports Bar with a friend, and he was at the bar. and I'm watching with his professor, watching him write out some sort of theory. And while he's watching like 3 basketball games simultaneously. So he's sitting there doing this, writing things down, doing that. And I'm just like, this is like a beautiful mind. I'm like, I don't think I've ever been in the presence of someone so smart.
Yeah. And a sweet, sweet kid. He was one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Yeah, Jared, just before we wrap up here, to go off what you were saying, Jared, the 2 running back system has worked, and they should do that. They were both 700+ yard backs that year. And the only time it really doesn't work is with the quarterback system. I mean, Joe was at times a 2 quarterback guy. Kevin Thompson, Rashard Casey back in '99, that was an example. Right. He did it with McGloin and Rob Bolden. He never really did it with – I don't think he ever really did it with like Zach Mills, or definitely didn't do it with Michael Robinson, Darryl Clark.
Anthony Morelli.
I remember Kevin Newsom. He was like pretty close there for a little bit of potentially being a starter, and Pat Devlin, guys like that. But going into this year, I think it's just really a solid setup. We have everything we need. Jeff, final question: do you think that Penn State could have a Heisman Trophy winner this year?
Ooh. I think they could. It all depends on what Drew Allard does. I don't think the running back combo is going to give either one enough touches to be considered there. But yeah, Allard could be a Heisman Trophy winner. It's all going to depend. I can't wait to see him with actual receivers. Yeah. And now that he's got actual receivers, he's going to be just phenomenal. And I'm looking forward to that. So if it all works out again, yeah, there's no reason why they couldn't, but I think he would be the only one who has a shot.
I think
I'll say one more thing. My 2008 was my freshman year at Penn State. That was the year with the Jordan Norwood and the Deion Butler and the Derek Williams and the Darryl Clark years. That year, those first 3 games, they said they outscored their opponents like, I want to say 76-10 or something like it. Right. I forget what the real number was, but it was really big. And I'm like, I don't think Penn State's ever been known for those types of offensive numbers. Seeing what they have now with the wide receiving core and the tight end, don't forget Luke Reynolds and the other name, say the other name, tight end.
Khalil Dinkins.
Yeah. Khalil Dinkins, yeah. Yep. Dude, we all could be witnessing a huge surge in that offense. Like I'm very excited to see what they're going to be doing offensively. We always knew what they do defensively, but now they've got a lot of weapons to play with. So it is not only is it a put up or shut up year for James, it is definitely a put up or shut up year for Drew. Because again, he has no excuse now to not have some success and a lot of success with all the players that they have. So it should be interesting.
I was going to say just about like the Heisman thing. I think because Penn State is a run-first team and we're pretty well balanced, I don't see it happening. It is possible that it could happen.
Yeah.
If we for some reason can't run the ball this year, then it would have to happen because we would have to pass. We'd have to be pass heavy to win games. But I see us being more well balanced. So I don't know. I think it'd be hard for Drew to put up the stats. I still think he could have a very, very good year. So
yeah. All right. Well, Jeff, it was great having you on here.
It's a lot of fun, guys. Thank you very much for asking me. That was nice.
Nice to meet you, Jeff.
Yeah, nice so we make this all the time.
So let's do it anytime you want.
All right, Jeff. Yeah, it was, again, thank you. It was phenomenal having you on here. I mean, been listening to you for a long, long time. So you're a wealth of knowledge. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time.
I don't know about that, but
okay. Maybe after we beat Oregon, we'll have you back on. Yeah,
that'd be good. That would be good.
Right?
All right, Jeff. You take care, guys. Thanks for coming on. And we'll be on here again soon, guys.
See you guys.
All right. We are.